They called it a revolution, a billion-dollar startup that promised to change the way people lose weight forever. It was sleek, scientific, and smart, or so it seemed. But behind the glossy branding and influencer smiles was a machine built on manipulation, not medicine. Welcome to Truvo, where we uncover the truth behind billion-dollar illusions. Subscribe, like this video, and stay until the end, because this is the story of the billion-dollar diet scam, how one startup sold hope and lies. It all began with a dream that sounded too perfect to question. A small group of founders claimed they had created a groundbreaking app that could retrain your brain to lose weight. They said it wasn't a diet, it was psychology, science, and artificial intelligence working together. The marketing was powerful. You don't need willpower, they said. You just need our program. The world listened. Celebrities endorsed it. Influencers flooded TikTok and Instagram with glowing reviews and perfect transformations. The message was irresistible. Finally, a weight loss system that didn't rely on diets, workouts, or sacrifice. The startup's valuation exploded to over $1 billion in record time. Investors celebrated. Users signed up by the millions. It was the health world's new miracle. But miracles don't survive scrutiny. Behind the curtain, the so-called science was little more than marketing language. The company's studies were never published in peer-reviewed journals. Its AI coach was not powered by artificial intelligence at all. It was a scripted chatbot sending automated messages designed to keep users engaged. And the famous personalized plans, templates, copied and recycled. The business model relied on one thing: keep people subscribed. Whether they succeeded or failed didn't matter, as long as they kept paying. And it worked. People felt seen, supported, motivated. At first. But weeks later, the cracks began to show. Users noticed that their coaching responses sounded identical. Customer support ignored refund requests, and those who dared to cancel were bombarded with guilt-tripping emails. "Don T, give up now. You're almost there." It wasn't about changing your life. It was about changing your billing cycle. Inside the company, employees began to speak out. They revealed that success stories were curated, sometimes even edited, to exaggerate results. Refunds were deliberately delayed. Negative reviews were hidden. Everything revolved around one metric: retention. But the company had mastered the psychology of persuasion. They played on fear of aging, failure, and being left behind. They played on hope, the belief that this time it would finally work. And they wrapped those emotions in pseudoscience to make it sound legitimate. The techniques were textbook manipulation, loss aversion, cancel now and you'll lose your progress, authority bias, fake doctors in lab coats, social proof, endless testimonials, many of them paid. Scarcity, only 50 spots left in this month's program. For a while, the illusion held. Revenue soared. The startup appeared unstoppable, but truth has a way of catching up. It started with journalists, asking questions the company didn't want to answer. When they requested access to the clinical data, there was none. When they reached out to the listed researchers, several denied involvement. And when they traced the success photos, many were found to be stock images. The story spread. Consumers realized they'd been misled. Regulators started investigating. The company tried to spin it as a misunderstanding. "We're improving transparency," they said. But behind the PR statements, panic grew. Subscriptions dropped. Lawsuits appeared. Investors pulled funding. In a matter of months, the billion-dollar empire began to crumble. But the damage wasn't just financial. It was emotional. Thousands of users were left feeling ashamed and defeated. They blamed themselves, not realizing they'd been targets of a carefully engineered system designed to exploit human vulnerability. A system that took advantage of hope. And here's the scary part. This wasn't an isolated case. Every year, dozens of AI health startups appear, promising personalized fitness, revolutionary supplements, or mental health breakthroughs. Most of them use the exact same psychological playbook: emotional marketing, fake scarcity, inflated science, and subscription traps. Because in the world of wellness, desperation is profitable. Maybe you've seen it too. The influencer who says, "This drink changed my life," or the ad claiming, "Doctors don't want you to know this secret." These are modern reincarnations of the same billion-dollar scam. New names, same tactics. So, how can you protect yourself? First, question everything. If a company claims clinically proven, ask, where's the study? Who funded it? Was it reviewed by independent scientists? If a product uses fear or shame in its messaging, walk away. If the refund process is buried in fine print, that's not an accident. Second, watch out for subscription models that are hard to cancel. Real health programs don't trap you into monthly payments. And third, be skeptical of influencers who mix personal stories with product links. Empathy sells better than science, and companies know it. But maybe the hardest truth is this. The reason scams like this thrive is because we all want shortcuts. We want fast results. We want to believe in miracles. That's what they're selling. Not a product, but permission to believe. Real change is slower, harder, less glamorous, but it's real. And once you see how these scams operate, you'll start recognizing the patterns everywhere. The countdown timers, the testimonials that sound too perfect, the scientific jargon with no citations, the endless upsells. It's not about wellness, it's about keeping you hooked. The founders of this company walked away with millions. Some even launched new startups, promising better transparency and ethical AI. They reinvented themselves, because in the startup world, failure isn't fatal if you can sell the story. And that's the part most people never hear. The billion-dollar diet scam didn't end. It evolved. It changed names, investors, and slogans. But the heart of it, the exploitation of human emotion, remained the same. They didn't sell diets. They sold dopamine. They didn't offer science. They offered stories. And for millions of people, those stories were powerful enough to override logic. Maybe that's why these scams will keep returning, because they don't just feed off money, they feed off belief. So next time you see an ad promising effortless transformation, pause. Ask yourself, who benefits if I believe this? Because real health doesn't require monthly payments. And real science doesn't vanish when you ask questions. Here's the truth. No app, pill, or secret formula will ever replace discipline, education, and self-care. Those are the only miracles that actually work, and they do not cost $49.99 a month. If you found this story eye-opening, make sure to subscribe to Truvo for more deep dives into the dark side of business, tech, and modern marketing. Hit like if you value truth over hype, and drop a comment below. Have you ever fallen for a too-good-to-be-true product? I read every story, and your experience might help someone else avoid the same trap. This is Truvo, where we expose the lies they sell and the truth they hide. Stay skeptical, stay smart, and remember, hope is powerful, but it should never be for sale.